First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
So we didn't get to say Carol's here today.
Yes, she has one of those days off.
Yeah, we always miss her when she's not here.
I get to sit in her seat. That's the only positive thing about it.
You do like that chair, don't you?
I do. She's got the best chair in the studio here.
So, Carol, we miss you if you're listening from afar, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Enjoy your day off, Carol.
Well, let's talk about football. We have a little bit of a schedule change for tonight.
Yeah, we won't be on the air tonight. The Wilcox-Benson game, which we were slated to do tonight in Bisbee, was postponed until tomorrow evening. Well, we have a conflict with that because we're doing Relay for Life. We're going to talk about that. So we looked at some other games. The Buena game, Choya High School out of Tucson, canceled on Buena. So we're hoping they were going to pick up a home game here locally. That didn't happen. So they're still looking. I don't know if they're going to find anything right now. So Buena is idle tonight also. And then we had some issues here. So long story short is there will be no Cochise County High School football game tonight.
But it will return next Friday, and that's on 100.9 FM, so you could still catch the game next Friday, but no local football tonight, and we're sad.
And we'll be back next Friday with Buena. It's homecoming for Buena next Friday, and they'll be hosting Flowing Wells High School. Should be a good game. Flowing Wells is a decent team, and so it should be, for homecoming, it's a great team to play, and so it should be a lot of excitement here in Buena.
And you just mentioned Relay for Life, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, Relay for Life is tomorrow night. About 4 o'clock, things start kicking off. The events, actually, the stage events kick off at 6 p.m. I'll be out there emceeing that tomorrow night with Jeff Davenport. So we're looking for an exciting time and bringing the community together for a great cause to remember those who perished due to cancer and those survivors that have beat cancer. So it actually is one of the events I do every year that actually really unites Cochise County. So I'm excited about that in that thought.
And also tomorrow is the Bisbee 1000.
Bisbee 1000. If you've never been to the Bisbee 1000, it's an amazing event. They got 1,500 runners at average. I know it says, 1,000 steps, 1,500 participants, but boy, that town just packs them in on Saturday morning. And the mayor is going to actually get to start off tomorrow morning. It should be a cool event, but if you haven't seen that many people running down the streets of Bisbee, it's pretty cool.
I think I want to do the Bisbee 100. I think I could do 100 stairs.
I was thinking more 10. Let's progress naturally here. So no, I give those people credit. 1,000 steps. Think about that. We complain we have to go up our front door steps, let alone go up 1,000 steps.
And then the El Dorado Parade is this Sunday.
Yeah, El Dorado is Sunday. Now it's all weekend. Kicks off Kicked off yesterday, and then the parade is Sunday at 11 o'clock. Now, that's one of the last parades of the year, except we got Veterans Parade coming up next month here. I think it's first part of November, but we'll be in the sheriff's office. We'll be walking that one. But El Dorado Parade Sunday is just a well-attended, festive parade, 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
And so those are some of the events that are happening just this weekend. But let's back up to this past Tuesday. That was a windy day in Cochise County.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you, we get, what they say, the clock speeds of 70-mile-an-hour wind here in Sierra Vista. Well, I live in the foothills off Ramsey Canyon area. And let me tell you, we got some wind out there. But I guess if you want to look at anything positive is the fact that you look at your roofers right now, you look at your fence people. There's a lot of work to be done right now because there's a lot of roofs. And I was talking to my neighbor this morning. His roof took a beating. I mean, you see it all around. You see sheds knocked over. So, yeah, fences. Talking to one of my lieutenants the other day, I heard him say his fences knocked over. Again, it goes back to, there's a lot of repairs being done here in Cochise County. But you never see that on the news, do you?
No.
I mean, we get 70-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, you do that in New York, it'd been like a headline, disaster, a million people affected. Cochise, no, we don't get that news.
And just driving through neighborhoods, I saw roof shingles like just in the middle of the street from everywhere. They were like peppered.
Go down 92, there's still a trampoline sitting on 92 down by Camino Segundo. Still sitting in some kids crying this morning. His trampoline's gone.
Well, let's talk about some meetings that are coming up. We've got the Arizona Attorney General on Monday.
Yeah, the Arizona Attorney General, Mark Brnovich, will be down here Monday. We're going to pick him up at the airport here in Cochise County, and then we're going to take him around. He wants to see an update on the border. He wants to see the National Guard, all the things that's going on here on the border, our innovative efforts here in Cochise County, our partnership with CBP, and the plans that the governor's put in place. He wants to look at all that. So he's going to spend a day with us on Monday. So if you see us running around and with somebody, that'll be our Attorney General. So I'm excited to see him come visit us. And a roundtable with the United States Congress. Yeah, I got notified yesterday there's going to be a roundtable next Thursday in Washington, D.C. Now, for cost purposes, I'm going to zoom in on that, the way it looks. I just got notified about 8 o'clock last night if I could be a participant to that and speak on the border issues and what's going on, what's working, what's not working. And so I agreed to do that last night. So I'm hoping to get some more details today on that. And we've got some shout-outs. First of all, let's head back to that wind. SSVEC lost some poles, and they did a great job. They're also the sponsor of this show. They are, and thank you to all the linemen and all the folks there, the team over at SSVEC, one, for putting this show on the air. Thank you so much and sponsoring that. Second to that is, I think the power went off down in the Hereford, South Sierra Vista area around midnight, 1 o'clock. 15 poles went down. By 10, 11 o'clock next morning, they had everybody back up. So, I mean, we take electricity for granted, until we lose it. Right. And then it's like, wow, where's our electricity? The clock's not working. Hey. So kudos to all our linemen out there that are keeping us the power going and keeping us safe. And also a shout-out to one of our officers at the jail. Now, when something goes wrong at the jail, it always makes headlines. So we want to make sure that every now and then, when something good happens, that we put that out as well. Yes. And I want to give a shout-out to Officer Lindendahl. He works in our jail. We had an individual yesterday that attempted suicide. It's sadly to say, behavioral issues and things like this happen in detention facilities. Thanks to Officer Lindendahl, he saved his life, which is more common than not when it comes to our officers and the intervention of saving people's lives, or just the conversation they have with people to keep them balanced. I mean, being in jail is a scary time, let's face it. For the normal person, it's a scary time. And to have officers that are compassionate, that truly care about others, this is stuff that doesn't make headlines, and it's too bad. I mean, we're like, our stats are amazing when it comes to how many lives we save in our jail. But yes, the ones that slip through that actually are successful in committing suicide in our jail, those are the ones that make headlines. And also, it was a deadly week for public safety personnel this week. Very sad week. Very sad week. The first incident is Maricopa County Sheriff's Deputy Juan Rios, like a 3-year deputy for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, arrested a fugitive on a warrant, brought him in while he's processing him into the facility. He assaulted the officer, and I'll just say it straight up, he beat him to death. He really did. They took him from there where he went on life support and then died from there. The suspect was actually, he stole the deputy's car, took off, left the sheriff's car, then hijacked another car, carjacked, excuse me, and then he tried to break into a residence where he was eventually shot by the homeowner. And so he's in the hospital right now. And as the sheriff sit up there, I know that sheriff's pretty upset. When you lose an officer like that, that's a community attack. I keep saying that. Our law enforcement officials, I mean, they're part of the communities. They serve the communities. They live in the communities, and that's an attack on our communities. So I know the sheriff. I spoke to him on this. Pretty tough up there. And then Sergeant Michael Rudd from La Paz County Sheriff's Office, a few days later, was in a pursuit up on I-8. Got out to help apprehend the suspect. He was a fugitive also, was hit by a commercial vehicle and killed. So, again, I talked to Sheriff Ponce from La Paz County, and on that one too. It's been a tough week here for the sheriff's offices here in Arizona. And we also lost a former deputy. Yes, night before last, retired Deputy Lane Nelson. His wife, Nita, works for the court system here in Cochise County. He passed away. So I was notified yesterday about that, and we put that on our Facebook. But Lane was a good friend of mine. I worked the streets with him. He just, how can I say this? I mean, he was always the guy that never had nothing negative to say, and always wanted to have a soda and just say hi to you. I mean, he was a good guy. So Lane, rest in peace, my friend. Well, let's talk about some scams that are happening right now in our area. We've got Medicare card numbers. They're looking for a replacement card to be sent, and they're scamming people with that one. Sex offenders registers are being told to get a Green Dot card and pay for a warrant, then go to the sheriff's office to give DNA samples. That one sounds really scary. It sounds legit, too. Right, I mean, yeah.
And then horses for sale in Elfrida and McNeil are not real. I mean, there probably are some real ones, but there's some scams going on for those. So let's talk about scamming right now.
They are. And folks, excuse me, when it doesn't seem right, or even when maybe it does seem right, first of all, we're not going to call you to tell you get money. We're just not going to do that. I mean, come to the sheriff's office, verify the information with a person, in-person contact. I mean, we're a small enough county, rural enough county that it's easy to do. I mean, these phone calls, they reach out to you, however they reach out to you, and ask for this stuff. We don't, the green dot cards, no, it's something that we don't mess with. We just don't mess with that. The sex offender, we have a sex offender unit. They'll work directly with you on that in person. We don't do it this way. And but they're just scamming people. And think about it. 1 person out of 10 falls for this. They're successful. They're 100% win for them. So, again, our education prevention programs on these, we talk about them in this show a lot. We put them on our Facebook. A lot of law enforcement agencies do that because we don't want to see you become victim to these crimes. And the coward crimes, I call them, because they're so far away to get, and they're just trying to get your money.
Well, let's talk about your border updates. You brought some stats in for us to learn about.
Yeah, I just got these updates. And these, we're talking about the human smuggling, which I call modern-day slavery. You see in the give-ups in Texas, the getaways here in Cochise County. I'll talk about my traffic stop here in a minute. But what's really not being talked a lot about is the drugs. What's happened this year with drugs on the southwest border? And I think it's alarming when you hear this. 10,000 pounds of fentanyl this fiscal year, 180,000 pounds of meth, 86,000 pounds of cocaine, 5,000 pounds of heroin, and believe it or not, 311,000 pounds of marijuana, which equates to 250 people dying every day in this country from opiate overdoses. The war on drugs, folks, I mean, we're going to have that discussion. We should be having that discussion now. This is why, and for those who don't know, 90% of all the illegal drugs in this country come through the southwest border. That is an example of why. When you look at how it affects our communities, how it affects our schools, our young ones, and our families, I mean, you can see the problem here. So, again, another reason. And the reason this is happening is as everybody had deployed to Texas to deal with the thousands and thousands of give-ups, it's opened up these rural borders. They truly has. 28 of the 31 counties are considered rural, us being included, and this is what the effect is on this. So the cartels are exploiting this big time, and the more people they can become addicted to the illicit drugs, the more profit is for the cartel, because the cartel doesn't care about human life.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fire on Fort Huachuca. I noticed a lot of people on Facebook were wondering what's going on, what's happening. Well, remember, you can sign up for AlertSense on the sheriff's webpage.
And it's easy to do. You go to Cochise County website. You can follow right through there. You can sign up for that. And then you can get these updates of what's going on. It pops on your phone. I know it might be irritating if you get these all the time, but it keeps you informed. Or you can go to the Cochise County Sheriff's Office Facebook. We put stuff out there all the time on this, these fires and things like that. And fires are, ever since the Monument Fire in 2011, fires in Cochise County, people are very sensitive for all the right reasons.
And the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride is coming up in November.
First Saturday in November, folks, is coming up. And we're doing side-by-sides. We're doing, which are going to be the off-road course. We're doing motorcycles. It's a great event this year. We're going to give out 4 $10,000 scholarships, a total of $40,000. That's thanks to the community, because that's who supports this program. Huge shout-out to American Southwest Credit Union and Lawley's Automotive. There are 2 partners in this. But when you give out $40,000 to nonprofits here in Cochise County, we've done something pretty cool. So thank you to my outreach unit that puts that together. And
there's also a lot of raffle tickets that are given away that day, so additional fundraisers and really cool prizes.
If I heard right, I was at the meeting this week, $6,000 worth of giveaway prizes.
Wow.
$6,000. I think there's 20-some giveaway prizes. So, yeah, my team does an amazing job of going out there, putting this together, and making sure those that come that are supporting the cause are also benefiting from the ride.
And if you want to go on the ride, you can go get your tickets. And there's motorcycles, Jeeps, and side-by-sides are all welcome.
Yep.
And then if you complete it, you're going to get a nice challenge coin as well.
They are. They got coins. They got pins. Yeah. They got, like I'm saying, they got cool T-shirts. I mean, come out and join us and just interact with us in law enforcement. It's nice to see our community. It's one of the benefits of living in Cochise County is having a community like that to serve for.
And one of the benefits of the charity ride is the Butterfly Club, and we're going to have Wilma on a little bit later in the show to talk about what she does and, talk about the charity ride and how cool it is to be the beneficiary there.
What a nice organization she runs, Wilma. And I'll leave that to her, but, kudos to her and her group that puts that together.
All right, well, let's talk about your stop of the week.
Well, the stop of the week is unique this year. A couple days ago, I was out helping a neighbor. It was after dark, helping a neighbor look for their lost dog. They came and said, "Sheriff, my husband's out of town. Can you help?" So long story short is I was out there helping with that, and the neighbor told me, "Hey, there's a suspicious vehicle around the corner from where I live." So I went up there. I saw the vehicle, and then it blacked out on me. Well, a few minutes later, I see the headlight. I didn't know where it was at. Headlights turn on, and it comes down a residential street, 75, 80 miles an hour. Now, this is like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. In any residential neighborhood, when you're running those kind of speeds, it's very reckless. So, spun on the vehicle, got behind it, got the plate. The vehicle cut back into the neighborhood. Make a long story short, they stopped right in the middle of a road, right in a residential neighborhood off Ramsey Canyon. The passenger bails out. Now, let me just give you the size. He's 6'4", about 300 pounds. He's huge, and charges my car. Why he's doing that, as a distraction, 8, 9 illegals jump out of the passenger seat and run into a residential yard. Now, you can see two concerns right away. I told dispatch, "Hey, this is what I got. I need some assistance out here." And this individual was very aggressive. I'll just say that, to say the least. His purpose was to distract me and do whatever it takes. And so he yelled at the driver, take off, take off. The driver took off on me, and then it was just him and I in the street. So you can imagine it was a touch and go for a while until we got some backup there. We did not find him. We searched until probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning along with Border Patrol. Let me give a shout out to those folks out there, the men and women of Border Patrol. We're working side by side with them out here in this county, trying to keep it safe. But we didn't find him. We did take the guy into custody. We worked with Border Patrol on a federal smuggling issue. That's Border Patrol's authority there. But we assisted them. We did recover the vehicle about 45 minutes later in a public parking lot, but the driver was actually gone. So again, and this goes into my safety message too, Grady, is see something, say something. There's so much going on right now. If this neighbor wouldn't have alerted me, I didn't see the vehicle initially, wouldn't have alerted me, I wouldn't have thought much of it, okay? But when she alerted me, that's what caused me to look into this. And, of course, you got criminal enterprise going on. That's called smuggling. And people forget that. They think, well, it's just a human smuggling. It's not a big deal. Folks, this is cartel-run stuff. They're violent. They don't care about human life. I call it, like I said, modern-day slavery is as worst. These people are being exploited. And you look, and I brought this up, I think, in the previous shows here a couple weeks ago, 162 people have died coming into our country, and just in Arizona alone. 162 in the southern borders here in Arizona. Tell me that's not humanitarian. And so, talking about the drugs, talking about the modern-day slavery, and seeing what we're going to see. The other day, next morning, I check on early in the morning, come to work, and I heard one of my deputies with Border Patrol at Cochise College in Douglas. They're running through the campus. Now, think about that. You got kids from all over the country come to our college down there to learn, to play sports, and then you got people camouflaged, and that's what they were there at night too, totally camouflaged, running through yards, running through campuses. So again, we'll be active with this. We'll be doing everything we can within our legal authority, and our partnership with CBP is vital right now, just vital. So again, if you see something, say something, give us that call so we can intervene.
And before we go, Sheriff, let's remind everybody that there is no local high school football game tonight on K101.
Yeah, no football. Buena's game was canceled. Let's say get a pickup game here today. They're canceled tonight. The Bisbee-Wilcox game, which should be a really good game, is tomorrow night, Saturday night at 7 p.m. So if you want to go see that, that's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. over at the Bisbee Warren Ballpark.
And the football game will be back next Friday night on K101, so make sure you tune that in. And also invite everybody to the Relay for Life for tomorrow, because you're hosting.
Yes, tomorrow night at Veterans Park here in Sierra Vista, Relay for Life takes place. Things start kicking off about 4 p.m. Stage activity kicks off at 6 p.m. Come out, join us, and let's support our survivors, and let's remember those that have perished.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you, Grady. Have a safe week, everyone.
And coming up next, we've got Officer Tracy Grady from the Sierra Vista Police Department talking about the Bearcat Pull, which is this Sunday. It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Officer Tracy Grady from the Sierra Vista Police Department. No relation.
No relation at all.
It is kind of funny because people do get confused because it's my first name, your last name, but they still think we're related.
They do, and it's actually really funny, but we actually get along great, and we have for a long time, and I really enjoy our relationship.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoy you, too. So at the Sierra Vista Police Department, you guys have something called a Bearcat, and this Sunday, to raise money for Special Olympics, you're going to have teams pull it.
That's right. Our 17,500-pound Bearcat is going to be pulled 25 feet. Each team gets 2 chances at pulling our Bearcat. And it's really a lot of fun, and it is for Special Olympic athletes.
So how do we help out this event? Can you just be a team, or can you show up, or can you donate other ways?
Well, you do really need a team because the machine is obviously pretty heavy, and you're pulling it with a rope. So what we do is we have several types of teams. We have a 5-man Ironman team. We have an 8-man team. We have the co-ed team, which is of 9, and then we have the women's team, which is of 10. And we currently have 20 teams pre-registered for the event, but we're reaching out trying to get more teams to just show up the day of the event. We need you to show up at 8 o'clock on Sunday at Veterans Memorial Park. What we're asking, though, is we don't have anybody from the Army here. You know, nobody signed up from the U.S. Army, and generally we have somebody show up from like a TDY class, or maybe Fort Huachuca Police, or maybe the MPs. It's a great challenge. It's a lot of fun. It's a good team-building exercise, and it shows the spirit of the event, and it is for Special Olympic athletes.
And we want the Army to show up.
Absolutely. I mean, you are a core part of our community. We enjoy the fact that you're here and sharing with us in our community. We have a beautiful community. So come on out and join us.
So let's talk about the teams. Are these like corporate teams? Are they other law enforcement agency? Where do you get the teams?
Well, RDI is one of our corporate sponsors, as well as SACA, and RDI has teams, and we also have SSVEC, who's actually one of our sponsors, who's been advertising for us, and we have the Sierra Vista Police Department has a couple of teams. So we do have corporate sponsors as well as police sponsors. It looks like the Sheriff's Office is about to put in a team. They're trying to gather some support right now. So we have actually some PDs, and we have people from SSVEC from all different areas of SSVEC. So they come from Wilcox, and they come on down here to play with us, and it's a lot of fun.
How about the Border Patrol? Are they in there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The Border Patrol, actually, they hold the fastest time in the Ironman and the men's. They have some guys that are huge, and they can pull that Bearcat like you wouldn't believe. They have the record time. Unfortunately, I don't have the times with me, but they hold the record time, and they actually get to pull last because it's actually a benefit to pull last.
So for the Border Patrol, they've got the time to beat. If you want to make a team, now's the time to do it. So how do you submit your team?
You can actually call me today or tomorrow. I'm going to be working both days, but you can show up on the day of the event at 8 a.m. and submit your application. It's not a big deal. All you have to do is sign, everybody that's pulling, sign the waiver, and you can pull that day. It's recommended you bring gloves because the rope is a rope, and when you're holding on to it, you could get some of the little pickers from the rope. But please come on down and do this for Special Olympic athletes. That's what it's all about. It's a team-building exercise. It's a lot of fun. The athletes love it. We should have some athletes there, and it's a whole lot of fun.
And spectators, can people just show up if they want to come watch?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it doesn't last that long. We actually start pulling right at 9 a.m., and it's only for a few hours. We have a DJ there. We're going to have a food truck there, and it's it's just a whole lot of fun. The kids get to pull the Bearcat a couple times, and the kids really enjoy trying to pull it. It's really heavy, but it's a whole lot of fun.
And I'm going to be out there too. I'll be handling the microphone and hosting everything and telling people to pull and making them yell, and we'll have fun.
Actually, Grady Butler is our new host this year, and we're really excited to have you come on board with us today.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
it is a lot of fun, and the spirit of the event is great, and our athletes really enjoy watching it and actually participating as well.
How much money have you made in the past?
Anywhere from $10,000 up.
Wow, nice.
In just a few hours. So it depends on the number of teams, obviously, but it's usually over $10,000 in just a few hours.
So let's talk about Special Olympics. Obviously, the title tells us what they do, but kind of tell us what they do.
Special Olympic athletes in Arizona participate in anywhere from track and field to softball and basketball and bocce. Locally, we just recently started doing bocce. The basketball is just about to start. We don't have track and field in Sierra Vista anymore. Any sport that athletes would want to participate in, they can. We have a new area director, Debbie Baker, who just joined on board, and she's very enthusiastic, and she really wants to get things going in this community. We actually have a new area director named Nick Dinsmore, and he's a great guy, and he wants to get things going around here. So anything anybody wants to participate in, just give me a call, and I can hook you up with Debbie, and she can give you a call about what we have available. And then, of course, Nick is always available, and he's up in Tucson.
So the Bearcat Pull is this Sunday. Registration at 8 o'clock. They start pulling at 9 o'clock. So if you want to be part of this, give us your contact information of how they can get involved one more time.
You can call me at the police department at 520-452-7500. Again, it's 520-452-7500, and you can come see me there or show up the day of the event at 8 a.m., and we'll get you registered and we'll get you pulling.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.
That's Officer Tracy Grady with the Sierra Vista Police Department. Coming up next, we've got Wilma from the Butterfly Club. She's one of the recipients of the Cochise County Sheriff Charity Ride. 7:34 at KWCD Country. It's First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me, I've got our next guest, Wilma from the Butterfly Club. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Brady. It's always good to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for the invitation.
So the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride is coming up the first Saturday in November. You can get your tickets online, and we have 4 beneficiaries that receive the money. It goes right back into the community as a fundraiser, and the Butterfly Club is one of those recipients this year.
That's right. What an amazing surprise. And it happened because I was here for an interview, and somebody was here from the sheriff's office and said, gosh, Wilma, you guys should put in for this. I had no clue. And then we received it. Oh, amazing. Big tears.
So kind of tell us, what is the Butterfly Club?
So the Butterfly Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides free wigs to women and teenagers, not only locally or Cochise County, all over the United States, for the past 21 years, but officially 16 years since we got incorporated.
And how did you start this?
So, why don't I share with you how it started and where we're at a little bit, okay? So I was 32 years old when I was diagnosed for the first time with cancer. And at 43, it returned with a vengeance. And I had chemo for 3 years biweekly at that point.
Wow.
So when I was told that I had no more than 6 weeks left to live, I made this emotional plea to God. And I said, if you let me live, I will do good for others for the rest of my life. Obviously, I've lived, and I've kept my promise. So how it started, I had 3 wigs that I wanted to donate that I no longer needed, but there was no organization or in place anywhere in this area that wanted them. And that was the beginning of a thought, what then turned into a dream. And instead of dreaming, I woke up and made the dream a reality. And in 2000, I started the Butterfly Club. The first 3 women who called me were local residents who were African American, Korean, and Hispanic. And the wigs that I wanted to donate were not appropriate. So that at that point I had to come up with an idea to do fundraisers to be able to afford wigs for these women. So I had this dream. I had 3 wigs and no money. I started first with cooking 9-course dinners at my house, and many listeners who I run into town always say, "Oh, I remember the dinners, you should do them again." So after that, I started with high teas and cooking classes and painting classes, and I had to get creative. A few months into it, I got invited by KOLD interview for a television interview, and I was so excited because I knew this was going to bring in tons of money and I'd be in business. And interview went fantastic, and the response was no money, but more and more new requests for wigs. So it was really a problem. So I never really anticipated the demand, how big this demand would become for wigs, and the cost and the manpower it would take, and the work, what was involved into fundraising. So little by little, people started contacting me and offered to volunteer. And that was the point that the I became we. And we all shared that vision. I get a lot of accolades for doing this, and I was just talking to the sheriff. It's not me. It's all these amazing volunteers that make up this team. So the Butterfly Club became a 501c3 organization in 2005, and we've been giving free wigs to women and teenagers who've had cancer ever since then. So I'm not going to go into the details how we do it here. That's another interview. I'm quite sure I'll be back again. So we first start when we get a request. We are local people. We shave their head. They get a wig. They get a cap. They get a chemo port. They give all kinds of. They get a blankie. But when it is a wig stand, we even have it when somebody has a breast removal. We have knitted breasts that are much softer than the hard ones. So it's evolved from just a wig to wig stand, wigs, chemo cover ports, blankets, knitted breasts. So my original intent was to give free wigs for women with cancer in Cochise County, but I learned over the years that the need out there was greater than we ever anticipated. So Sierra Vista became Cochise County, became Arizona, and now after 21 years we do the entire United States. We had to stop doing international because shipping costs are so expensive. We've never turned away any woman or child, and we also ship for free. So the fundraisers we do now, it expanded to 3 craft businesses per year. We have car shows, car washes, meditation classes, wine tasting, cooking classes, art classes, and so forth. So when I started providing free wigs, the statistics were that 1 in 7 people would have cancer. So now it's 2021. Statistics is 1 in 3.
Wow.
So I got, when I started, 3 calls a month. Super exciting, 3 calls for wigs. Now we have 15 to 20 per week. So besides my regular job, it's another 20 to 25 hours a week that I work to fulfill that demand. And although I'm the president and the founder, I answer to a board of 9 people who are really, really tough on me because I want to spend much more money than we have. So, but I'm blessed to have incredible volunteers who help with all the fundraisers. And trust me, without them, there would be no Butterfly Club, and we could have never grown into this organization. I stopped counting after we donated our 1,000th wig, simply too emotional and draining to keep all those horrific stories in your head. Currently, right now, we're in the process of providing wigs to 8, 14, 18, and 21 years old. Our ranges have from 7 to 98. Children are, of course, the most emotional. They still have their entire lives in front of them. So I tend to spend the most expensive wigs on them. Personally, some of you know both my children have died from cancer, so working with parents of children who have cancer is personally very important to me. Our wigs retail in a value from $100 to many times that amount. And that cost is always dependable on fiber, human hair, is it hand woven, or many other factors. Each recipient receives a brand new wig. We used to recycle the wigs, but fortunately now we're able to provide each person with a brand new wig. We also have a recycling process in place because we constantly get wigs donated, and after we clean and inspect them, we donate them to high schools or colleges and universities for their drama and costume departments. So, or other smaller cancer institutions throughout America who can't afford to have wigs. We purchase our wigs from a company in California that provides wigs to the various film industries. And of course, they give us an exceptional discount and share in our vision. So, and we are 100% nonprofit. So no one gets paid for anything what they do in the organization. So in order to continue my dream, we have to raise a lot of money, or we cannot continue our mission. And then due to the increasing demand of the wigs, and since there are so many more cancer patients, we have to try different avenues to raise extra funding. Army and the students in Fort Huachuca have now offered to volunteer and help with car washing. Although we're fighting to support any child, teenager, or woman with cancer, we're in urgent need of an influx in capital. So this award is tremendous because, you know, COVID hit all of us hard due to fundraisers. So it was definitely the blessing for us for, you know, the next year to cover for the wigs. I hope that tells you a little bit.
And the Cochise County Sheriff Charity Ride is one way that you can help out with this just by participating in the charity ride, which is the first November or the first Saturday in November coming up. So you can participate there. That's going to help the Butterfly Club. But how else? You mentioned stuff throughout the year. How do they find out about those as the year goes on?
I would say, you know, we have somebody who's incredibly good at our Facebook page. So the Butterfly Club Inc. is on Facebook page, and things get posted there daily. What events are coming up? What are we doing? I would say that's the best way to go instead of going through, you know, we have a website too. But the Facebook page, it's fun, it's motivational, it's humbling, and all the events are posted on there.
So give us that Facebook page again.
The Butterfly Club Inc. of Sierra Vista.
And is that where they can also reach out to you if they'd like to help you in some way?
No, let me give you my phone number.
Sure.
So everybody get ready, grab your pen or record this on your phone. It's Wilma, 520-255-0830.
And we're going to give you that phone number again, so you can still go grab your pen because it's coming at you one more time. But remember, the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride is coming up the first Saturday in November. That's one way to help. And you can enter your motorcycle, your not RV, I was going to say RV. That would not go well. Motorcycle, ATV, and your Jeeps are all accepted. And then there's off-road routes, there's on-road routes, and there's lots of raffle prizes that are going to be given away. And it's a big fundraiser for these 4 charities, which the Butterfly Club is one of them. So if you want to follow them all year round, she's going to give you the Facebook page. And if you want to contact her, she's going to give you the phone number, and here that is.
And we're also going to be there with a table, and we're going to see, so people can see what does a wig look like, what does a knitted breast look like, so people can have some hands out, and we have brochures. The most important thing, of course, is for you, all of you who are listening, to please spread the word. We all know somebody who has cancer who might need a wig. So that's what it's most important for. So once again, the Facebook page is the Butterfly Club Inc. of Sierra Vista. The telephone number is 520-255-0830. Or if all else fails and you don't have a pen, you can call me at Visage European Day Spa, where I work during the day.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, and we thank you for what you do in our community and beyond.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be able to do this.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.